What's going on? We got Alex Cook with us, Utica Yeti, Crooked Arrow star, and so much more. It's been awesome getting to meet you and see you play. But what do
Yeah.
you do outside of being a Yeti?
So outside of being a Yeti, I work a full-time job. I work at Lockheed Martin. And just being a family man. I guess I got 2 kids and a wife.
All that fun stuff. Dalen's your oldest son?
Yeah. Yeah. He's always watching the videos that you have of him on there.
It's too bad we lost a lot of that mall walkers because Dalen was out there showing those mall walkers how to play. That would have been sweet if we had kept that.
Yeah. Yeah. He was bummed out for sure that video got lost.
Yeah.
And that was. Did we lose the whole video from the Virginia game too? That was on there.
Yeah, we lost most of that. I was able to we had some that we did on our cell phones, but we
Yeah.
had a little miscommunication with who used to be in charge of starting and stopping the streams, but we've
Right.
gotten that worked out now.
Yeah.
So you have you been playing competitive all along, or were you like Ty and a lot of these guys where you played competitive for so long and then it's just been kind of men's league pickup here and there?
Yeah, I haven't really played like a high level lacrosse in a while. I think the last time that I played like a full season, it might have been 2011. But since then I've been active. I've played men's league and tournaments. There's a few tournaments that they do on the res here in Onondaga. There's like a New Year tournament that they were doing last night for a while, and I'd play in those. But other than that, yeah, I just life kind of got in the way and um, wasn't able to really play as much as I wanted to. But with the um, it was the IBLA when that started up, or not when that started up, but when the Yeti started up, that really gave me a chance to um, come back and start playing again and playing at a high level. And I really missed it too. It was a long time that I took off, and I think really mainly I came back because my kids wanted to see me play, and also that's just who I am. I don't really know myself without lacrosse. So I was happy to get back and start playing again at a high level.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's been a lot of fun watching you guys play. Now, where did you play? What was your last competitive season in 2011?
That was with Onondaga Red Hawks. That's senior B.
Okay, and that new UA tournament, I believe that's going to be streaming now. If not streaming, it'll be recorded and then posted live. What is that tournament consist of?
Um, it's a lot of good teams. It's almost like Laxnine, but it's mainly like native teams. I want to say they did it for 2 years, maybe 3 years, but then with COVID and everything, it shut everything down. So the first year there was like 6 teams maybe that played in it, 6 or 8 teams, and that was mainly just native teams from all the reses around here.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. So I mean, even at Laxnigh, there was what 6 or 7 teams that came out of the reservations, and
Yeah,
the U15 and the U18 championship, I believe, was strictly reservation teams.
yeah, yeah. Those. There's a lot of talent on the reses around here, so they're able to pull together a few different teams and be competitive with it, and that's a bright sign for youth lacrosse around here.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can tell the difference. So you guys have been playing since you were little kids. You played youth lacrosse. When did you start playing organized box lacrosse?
I started playing when I want to say it was probably like Tykes or Pee Wees maybe. So it starts at the youngest is Peanuts. That's like 3 to 5, and then Tykes is after that. I believe it was Tykes when I started playing, so I was right around 5.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can see the difference with one of the big things, like one of your big moves is you've got an incredible fake shot and you're able to like reach way around and completely change your angle on it. I mean, how tall are you?
6'4".
6'4", yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a monster out there. I got a couple clips of you running through guys.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, all that just comes from practice, stuff out in the backyard. Um, you can every time you go to an organized practice, you got to practice what the team is doing. You go through drills and in-game situations, but really at home in the backyard with your buddies is where you kind of figure out what you're best at, your creativity, and the more you do that, the easier it becomes, and you're able to translate that into games.
Yeah, coach is going to yell at you if you do a behind the back shot, unless it's a goal, or if you throw a behind the back pass, unless it goes right to the guy's stick, then it's okay. But
Yeah.
if you do any of that, it doesn't work out, coach is going to scream at you. Why didn't you do it the way you?
Oh yeah, yep, that's for sure. Yeah, sometimes I remember in high school scoring behind the back, and even after I scored, like, oh, I don't know about that. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you're talking mainly an outdoor, right?
Yeah, yeah. Field lacrosse in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, field lacrosse is a different animal altogether. And that's one thing I was talking to Steven Stamp about, and I talked to Ty about it a little bit, is like you guys play organized box lacrosse from the time you're little. We have some field teams, but when it comes to like everywhere outside of the reservations in Canada and the United States, there is not a ton of box. And you see the difference out there. Like you said, you guys playground it, so you're shooting on small nets from the time you're kids. You used to goalies with big pads.
Yeah, There's a huge there's a I mean it's like two totally different games, box and field. In field you got so much time and there's so much space out there that you don't have to be as sharp. And when you get in the box, everything has to be really crisp and your timing has to be accurate. So there's a big difference, and I think that's why you see a lot of colleges now like Syracuse and Albany, highly recruiting Canadian players or native players, just because of that aspect of the game that we can bring.
Yeah, and Scott Marr is awesome at Albany because he really encourages that freestyle. I mean, it makes for some incredible lacrosse to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think in the next year or two, we're gonna see Syracuse really start to come on with Gary Gate as the coach. I think he's gonna, he's a Canadian guy and he knows how those players can play and the positives that come with it. So I think that they're really gonna get some big time recruits, and I think they're gonna turn it around.
Yeah, absolutely. Having somebody like Gary Gate with the connections he has up there, talking with Bob Leary, the fact like he's in with all those guys, they know so many of the youth, and the big thing out there, I think, is the JUCO lacrosse is so underrated. Onondaga dominated for years, and then Herkimer had a phenomenal team. Is that where you played, or?
Yeah, I went to Herc right out of high school, and when I went there, OCC was just starting to build their program up. They were pretty good, but when I went to Herc, I think Herc just came off of winning the national championship 2 years in a row, and I actually was going to go to Onondaga Community College at first, but a friend of my father's, he was friends with somebody at Herc, and they said, "Well, why don't you go out there for a visit?" So I went out there, and I saw they had a nice, beautiful stadium. It was like brand new, and OCC was still there. I think they were playing at Liverpool High School at the time. They didn't even have a field, and it just felt a little more professional and to me. So I decided to go there instead of OCC. But yeah, OCC's they really turned it around.
Yeah, now
History unfolding before our very eyes tonight on the campus of Onondaga Community College. Good evening, I'm Nico Tamurian, and as if winning every national championship since 2009 wasn't impressive enough, the OCC men's lacrosse program now owns the longest win streak in the history of junior college athletics in any sport, With a win over Mohawk Valley, the Lasers now have 98 wins in a row.
What years was it that you went?
I was just there the fall of 2005.
Yeah. So you were a couple years behind me. Yeah, Onondaga had just started when I went 02 to MV, so I missed you. I was 03, 04.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herkimer was a power back then. I mean, Herkimer,
Yeah.
like, yeah, if you were a great lacrosse player, that's where, if you were going to a JUCO school, that's where you wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. There were so many players there too, from all over. Like we had a couple of guys from Portland, Oregon that came out there. So yeah, I mean, we were getting players. They were getting players from all over the place, and there was a ton of guys too. I don't remember exactly how many people we had, but there had to be at least like 50 or 60 guys that came there to play.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then to hear now, like when Bob started because of COVID and everything, and them not knowing they had a team, he started with like 4 players.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I saw him at pickup in the wintertime, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we got like 4 or 5 guys showing up. I don't know what we're gonna do."
Yeah, he was able to smooth talk everybody into it. I'm really hoping he brings Herkimer back to what it used to be. That would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So you playing with the Yeti is definitely probably reignited the fire in you, and it definitely seems like it. You really you guys were on fire towards the end of the season. That Eels
Yeah.
game was insane.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing with Ty and Neil Paulus? Because you guys, you can see it out there, the chemistry. I'm guessing you guys have played a lot of pickup lacrosse together.
Yeah, yeah. So me and Ty started playing together when we were in 6th grade. I mean, I've been out of high school now for 17 years, so we've been playing together for a long time. And Neil too. We started playing with Neil my first year of seniors, so that was like 2009, I believe. And Neil's like a Swiss Army knife. He's pretty good at everything out there, and he's a good leader too. But yeah, like you were saying, how we have good chemistry. That's that really just comes from repetition, because we've been playing together for so long. Especially me and Ty, when we're out there, it's easy for us to play together. We don't even really have to think about what we're doing, just from the backyard ball.
Yeah, it's impressive. You watch the 2-man game that you guys have with your give and goes, and like you guys will throw a crazy behind the back pass without looking, just because I've got one clip I just showed. I think it was on Ties, where you see it's you, him, and Neil across the top, and yeah, he feeds it over, and just the way Neil steps inside, starts drawing the defense over, fires it back to Ty, who doesn't look, has a stick over here. As soon as the slide starts coming out to him, he throws it behind the back to you, which leaves you wide open. Or
Yeah.
Another clip I was watching was him, he passes it to you, you start driving in, draw the slide, and he just right over the top. That's you being 6'4" with your stick on top of it. You're like 10 foot, 12 foot up in the air, just dunking it over the top of people to Ty. And yeah.
Yeah, the stick has eyes on it. That's why you gotta really get to know your stick. It's like an extension of your body. A lot of times when you're out there, you can't see the opening yourself, but you got to just trust in your stick and know that a few feet away from your head there's an opening there.
Yeah, that's what's crazy too, is I've never heard it described with the eyes. I like that a lot better. I always just said the face of your stick, wherever that is. But yeah, because like you said, it's knowing that when I reach out here, how do I shoot? How does the ball release from my stick? You got to do it like a bazillion times before you really.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my the fence at my parents' house is pretty bloodied up and bruising from me through the years shooting on my goal there.
I bet. Now, does Dalen play?
Yeah, Dalen plays. He plays for the Red Hawks here in Onondaga.
Did they go down to Lax Night at all?
They sent a team. They were the Onondaga Fire. They were on the U15.
I thought I saw him out there. At one point I said to Charity, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Dalen out there. I'm gonna have to look for him. What number was he?
He was number 9. And see, you just gotta look for the mullet hanging out of the back there.
That's what I saw, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Dalen. I seen it out of the helmet, but he had his helmet on, so I couldn't really see him. We tried zooming in with the camera at one point when we were on like a halftime or something. I flipped another screen up, and we're like zooming in, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Dalen.
Yeah. Yep,
That
he
was
there.
crazy. Yeah,
He had a
that
good
was.
time.
Yeah, that Lax Night was pretty incredible. What did you think about Lax Night?
I thought it was good. I thought they did I thought they had a good production out there, and it was definitely a little bit different from when I was on Onondaga. But at the same time, it had a lot of good benefits. It was really cool. The outdoor box was like right by Genesee Street. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was neat. I wish I got to watch more games out there. But I mean, it must have been really cool is this the first time that you and Dalen were able to play in the same tournament like this?
I actually didn't play in it
Oh,
because
all right.
my knee's been bothering me, so I didn't play. But I went out there on, I think it was Friday. Went out there Friday just to watch and hung out with the guys, and I just worked the door for them. And then we went out again on Saturday when Dalen had his games.
Yeah, I thought I saw you walking around there. I was wondering why I didn't have any clips of you actually, but that makes
Yep.
sense now.
Yep,
been
I've
crazy.
been trying to recover from this my little knee injury here, but it's coming good. Hopefully I'll be good to go soon. We got that PBLA, those tryouts are coming up soon. I think they're in the beginning of November, so I should be good to go by then.
Yeah, well, that was I talked to Ty and Jobson, and they both, when we talked to them, they thought it was coming up this weekend, but now it's been moved to early November, right?
Yeah, it's been postponed. Yeah, it was supposed to be Saturday, Sunday. This
And
Saturday, Sunday, but yeah, they postponed it to early November. I think we just got the email last night about it.
yeah, that's I mean, they're going to keep it at the field house, so it'll still be in that location close for you guys.
Yep.
That's awesome. How long have you been playing at that field house?
They built it in 2015. So I've been going down there and shooting around since then. And I worked there for a year too. So for a whole year, I got to come into work and play lacrosse, shoot around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now that the other arena, the one that we played you guys played the championship game in. Now that arena was gorgeous. I haven't been to the field house yet, and everybody says it's even nicer, but the that arena there was awesome. That's a sweet setup for being able to film the games, for being able to watch the games. The stands are stacked right up on it and nice and tall so you can see everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool arena. I've been playing there for a long time too. They built that in 2001, I think. Me and Ty actually, when we were in Bantams playing for Onondaga, we won the provincials there. That's like the big championships in Canada for youth. So yeah, it was our Bantam team. We won there in 2001, and that year they were building the big arena.
That's awesome. And now playing for the Red Hawks is how you guys got hooked up with the Crooked Arrows thing, right?
Yeah, kind of. I think Neil might have said something. Well, actually, I was at a barbecue at one of my friend's houses. His aunt told me about it, and I just kind of looked it up and found out where it was going to be, and then Neil knew about it too, and me and Ty decided to go and show up for the tryouts.
Alex Cook, Mohawk, and I'm a Crooked Arrow.
And that you guys ended up making it into the movie, and that was crazy because I had actually seen you guys, so I knew you looked familiar. It was hilarious. I didn't put it together till I saw you guys out there playing, but
yeah, it's a funny story actually about when the first day of tryouts there. So I stayed the night at Ty's house so we could get up early and go, and he couldn't find his keys. We couldn't find the keys for about 3 hours. We missed the whole first session of the tryouts, and the whole way there we're like, oh my god, I can't. We missed the first session. There's no way they're gonna let us get in. So as soon as we got there, that first session was kind of letting out. People were breaking up, going on break, and we were walking through, and we were like, well, let's just pretend like we're already in it, and then they won't say anything to us. So we're walking through, talking like we're already in the movie, and one of the producers comes over and he's like, oh, hey, you guys in the movie? And we're like, yeah,
Tyler Hill.
we're in it. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm the producer, Mitchell Peck. He's like, nice to meet you guys. He goes, I like your guys' attitude. Why don't you guys come back for the afternoon session? So that's kind of how we got hooked up there. Made it through the first session without going to it.
That's amazing. I had to mute myself there because I was laughing, because that's basically what Ty told me the other day. He's like, we just walked in like, yeah, we know what we're doing and we're already part of this. So step out of the way, everybody.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Now you could definitely see the difference from the Yeti games where you and Ty and not having everybody there was the impact. That being said, they also were starting to get a lot of goals, but most of the games you guys won, there was 15 out of 20 goals, or 14 out of 18 goals were scored by the three of you guys.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess that's just, it's really because of like inexperience, I'd say. So the three of us were probably the most experienced. Well, definitely the most experienced offensively. So the offense kind of started with us three. So for the first 3/4 of the season, everything kind of started through us, and then guys like Blaine, Kiefer, and Suits, they started to catch on and really understand the way that we're playing out there, and they just found themselves in the right spots at the right time. And in box cross, that's really what you have to do. You got to be in the right spot at the right time, and those guys started to learn, and they were definitely a big help. Blaine, I like playing with Blaine. He likes to jump in from behind, and when he gets the ball, he's so athletic and explosive. A lot of times I found myself, I'd give him the ball, and I'm kind of like taking myself out of the play, kind of watching. I'm like, okay, well, he's gonna beat this guy 1-on-1 and probably just jump in, score.
Yeah, he's so much fun to watch. I keep trying to get him to talk to me on this. He won't do it because I don't know. But he's a blast to watch. Like you said, Kiefer too. Kiefer is he's one of those guys too. He just plays with that head down style, and I'm just going to drive through you, force you backwards, and fire a shot.
Yeah, he's a grinder. Every team needs a guy like that. Not somebody that's going to get in there and do the dirty work. And Kiefer, he takes that, he rolls with it. He loves doing that stuff.
Yeah, Kiefer, he's one of those guys, like you said, like Blaine, him. There's so many guys on your team that when they get the ball, you're just kind of sitting there waiting, like, are they going to do something crazy, or are they going to act like they're going to do something crazy and then fire the ball off to somebody out front of the net?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many guys on the team. It always feels like every time we talk about it, it's like, oh man, we're forgetting to talk about this guy, but it's just insane the amount of talent, and it's been awesome. How did you guys get hooked up with the Yeti to begin with? Who was the first one of you to kind of start playing with them? Or
it was me. I honestly don't even. I'm trying to think of how I heard of them. I think I saw it online somewhere. It was actually the Eels team I saw online. So I was asking around about it, and then I found that Yeti team, and I saw that Tony was coaching. I knew Tony, so I reached out to him, and he just let me know, when to come in and when the tryouts. I missed the tryouts. I didn't really know about the team until after the tryouts. So luckily there was still some room, so he had me come out to a practice, and I brought Ty with me. And after that practice, they were like, yeah, you guys should come back.
yeah, that's it's crazy how all this worked out, because like you said, with the Eels team, is kind of seems to be how people started finding out about it, and then the Yeti were there to be like, hey, if we aren't, if you want to come out and try it, come on out, and we will definitely make room for the talent level. And it's they ended up they got lucky, but I think it's also just Paul's nature. He just wants to have fun, and whoever the best players are, come on out, let's let's get after it.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul's, Paul, he's our leader there, Paul. He does a lot of things behind the scenes that nobody really sees. But it really translates well to the floor with us,
Yeah, I mean, I heard a guy on your team say once, he's like, this is as close to being a professional athlete as you're ever going to get without playing in the NLL, because just the way everything's set up with the trainer, he always makes sure is there. He makes sure you guys have like team bags, you look legit, you've got warm up t-shirts, nice jerseys, multiple sets of jerseys at that. I don't know how he does all the stuff he does. He's crazy.
Yeah, and playing in the odd. That was another big draw for me too. I saw that they were going to be playing in the odd, and I was like, "Ooh, that'd be a nice place to call home."
Yeah. I think a lot of Lax Night happening in Utica had to do with the fact that Paul put on the battle on the barge. Lax Night was like, oh, look there's somebody willing to do it, and look at how they made this work. And this was just basically one crazy guy who was like, you know what? I love box lacrosse. I want to give everybody an opportunity to play it as competitively and professionally as they want, and let's go.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely. I don't really know anything about how Lax Night came to Utica, but yeah, that's my guess too. Is Paul? He's got a lot of connections too, and he really does put on a good show there.
Yeah, and it's because he's never trying to really like make money off it. He just wants to have the best lacrosse product on the floor possible. I mean, I've got the picture here behind me, and that's you. The kids after the game, it was crazy. Like I remember Jobson walking by, and they ended up with one of the kids' broken sticks, and he was like, hey, could you guys sign this and get everybody to sign it? They tried to give it to him to take back, and instead you guys all came out and met the kids, and they were pumped. It was so much fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big part of why I play is, to spread the game. And, that's part of spreading the game is to talk to the kids and, sign stuff for the kids, get them excited about lacrosse, because that's the future of the game right there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's got to be awesome to have your son be able to, like, he's a part of that team. Whenever he's there, he's holding the flag for the national anthem. He's in the locker room with you guys. It's got to be awesome for him to see, oh my, look at what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves it. He's always talking about it, how when he gets older he wants to play for the Yeti, and hopefully the league's still going on, and hopefully there's still a team there for him to do that.
Yeah, I definitely hoping the NABLL keeps going. It'd be nice to see this all grow, and hopefully we'll be able to stream all the games next year. I'm going to try to set it up so all of your guys' games, no matter where you play, will be streamed. We should be able to accomplish that, but get the rest of the teams on it as well. I've been trying to reach out to some of the teams to get it, but it'd be cool to make sure we could, like you said, grow the game, spread it, let the kids see it, let everybody play. Plus, everybody loves the highlights, and they can start clipping their own. I love when I jump on like Instagram or whatever, and you'll see people clipping stuff out of it, and it's just, yeah, it's awesome to be able to be a part of all that, really.
Yeah, there was a big difference between this year and last year, like social media wise and streaming. Last year we didn't really. I don't know if we had anything really streamed. I think maybe the playoffs might have been streamed through the IBLA, but yeah, with you coming on this year, that definitely made a big difference. And it's always cool to be able to, jump on the TV and watch the game, and see what you did wrong out there and see what you did right.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is I think being able to, like you said, watch it and see it, and really finding this league has probably helped so many guys be able to get to that PBLA tryout, really hoping, we can get a lot of American players or a lot of guys for you guys off the reservation would be sweet, just because, it's awesome. There's so few spots in the NLL, and there's so many guys like you and that are just on that cusp. It's great to give you guys a chance to be able to, try out and play professionally.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I tried before, with the NLL, and it's just there's just so many players, and there's a lot of politics that go into the NLL too, signing people. But yeah, I'm excited for the PBLA. I wish I would have kept up with the NLL. I mean, I know I would have been able to break through and play on a team there, but you know, things get in the way, life gets in the way. Like I said, I gotta go to work every day, so it's not as easy to, really dedicate full time playing lacrosse to get to the NLL.
Well, it's tough too, and those of us that had kids, young, it's
Yeah.
you all of a sudden are like, oh, I don't really have time to play anymore. I'm just pumped that we've kind of starting to get this little thing rolling. We can hopefully get this, and the PBLA will continue, and this league keeps growing. I think it's great to start building farm systems, or like you said, like Senior B is huge. That like you guys all know what you're talking about, but a lot of people down here have no clue what Senior A and Senior B is. Like when we first started filming the Yeti, trying to explain to my wife Senior A and Senior B was tough. But you guys have been playing competitive, like our guys play basketball, and we've got some youth hockey programs that are like that. Very few sports have that kind of like deep-seated roots where you guys have so many people that volunteer their time to coach the kids, and that's really where it all begins.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in Canada, it's so huge lacrosse in Canada. They, like you were saying, they start from 3 and they go all the way, till men. I mean, there's guys that are playing into their 40s up there at a high level too. I mean, Senior A that's the cream of the crop. That's the top box league in the whole world. I mean, you put the best, like the Peterborough Lakers, they won the Man Cup this year, the Senior A Cup. I mean, you could put that team against any box team in the world, and they're going to beat them.
Yeah, it's crazy because I just discovered what that was and found that the Man Cup is streamed. But yeah, like you said, and it's nuts. They're getting close to 30,000 views on YouTube, and they grow, and it's just not known anywhere else besides Canada and certain specks of places that border Canada.
Yeah, they have a huge following too. I mean, if you watch any of those games, I mean that arena sold out there, and I'm not sure how many people they can see. It's like might be like 4,500 to 5,000, but they packed that place. And I played junior A lacrosse there in Peterborough, and I played some senior ball there too. And even for the juniors, I mean, we get 2,000 people to the games. Like there's a lot of people that come out and support the teams. That's really how you grow the game too. You get when the community gets into it, the kids are into it and they watch them, and the kids are like, I want to be that guy. I want to be out there playing. So they work hard, their whole life up until they become men to get to that point, and that's really how you grow the game.
Yeah, that's something to be said though, is like you said, the support of the junior programs and the people they're really all in. Like, and when you played for Peterborough, were you boarding at the time, like up with somebody, or were you billeting?
Yeah, I lived up there.
Yeah, and that's like something other people don't even understand is what like a billet house is, or how that works, where you go and you stay with a family who's nice enough to take you in, feed you, take care of you, and you get to play lacrosse like a pro athlete, kind of.
Yeah, it's cool, and every team does it a little different. Like I know Ty, he played in Six Nations, and they're huge in lacrosse too. I mean, Peterborough and Six Nations, that's a big rivalry right there. And they had a big nice house for players, and it was just players that lived in there. It wasn't a family that put the people up. It was the guy who owned the team. He actually, I don't know if he built a house or he bought a house, but either way, he got a nice house for the players that were from out of town to stay.
Yeah, and it's crazy because people are like, wait, they do all that for youth sports? And it's like, well, juniors goes past youth a little bit. So did you go play juniors before you went to Herc?
Yeah, I was playing in Peterborough the year that I graduated in 2005, and that summer I was with Peterborough, and then we went to Herkimer, and it just didn't work out right for me. Playing college lacrosse, it just It just didn't happen for me. I wish it did, because to get to where I wanted to be, it took me a lot longer. I had to take the long road to get there. Whether, you know, where if I would have played college ball, I could have, finished up at Herkimer and then played somewhere D1 and then, got to where I wanted to be a lot quicker. But, I learned a lot of lessons on the way, and that's what I think that's what makes me the player I am today. I'm I'm always willing to give back to the kids because of that reason, because it took me so long to get there. I don't want kids to. I wouldn't say it was a mistake that I made, but I'd rather see kids take an easier route to get to their end goal.
Yeah. And even just kind of telling the kids more, hey, if you really want to be a pro lacrosse player, it's as simple as if you're willing to put the work in, but you have to give up on a lot of other things. It's hard to have a different life if you've got other commitments and things. And it's like, oh, I really don't have time for this. I got to work full time and take care of people. And now here we are, closer to 40, but getting after it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be 30. I'll be 36 next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm, just a couple years older than you, but it's impressive to see you guys. So how long have you and Nate have known each other? For quite a while, and you guys played what?
Yeah, me and Ty, we met Nate back in 2007, I think, in Syracuse. They do a men's league there at one of the indoor facilities during the wintertime. And I met him back then, and we've been pretty close ever since then. He's a good guy, good friend, good person to have around.
Yeah, he's awesome to have around. Is he did he come with you guys to the Yeti? Is that how he ended up there?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he took a little bit of time off from lacrosse, kind of how we did. But when you're really into lacrosse like we are, it doesn't take too much convincing to get back into it. And I was hanging out with Nate, and we were hanging out with him playing lacrosse, and we were, man, you should come out and try out for the Yeti. We think you'd make it. And so he took a shot there and went out and played, and he did well.
Yeah, those the championship games or the series out there, he played amazing. I talked to him. Yeah, it was tough, man. He's had a rough year, and I think you guys really helped him out, getting him out with you playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a medicine game. When you're having a tough time. That's what I always do anyways. If I'm having a tough time, lacrosse is always a good outlet for me to kind of reset myself.
100%. That's I got back into coaching and stuff, and it's helped me huge. I can't even it's weird how much it does help everybody.
Yeah. But, yeah, when I wasn't playing there, but before I joined the Yeti, me and my girlfriend, we had a long talk about it, and I was like, man, I don't even really know who I am without lacrosse. And she kind of nudged me back into playing.
Yeah, it's that's awesome. I'm so glad she did, because I love watching you guys out there. And now hopefully, we get a chance to do the PBLA. It still blows my mind that anybody watches us talking, because it's just me getting to find out more about you guys, because I love it. Like the youth leagues and all the way through. I did that for hockey, but just stopped when I was, younger, because just everybody told me I was too short. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm too small. But
well,
I wish I had.
I'm too slow.
Not a chance. It's
especially when I rewatch the videos, I'm like, man, I thought I was running way faster than that. Feels like I'm running fast out there until I watch it, and I'm like, oh man, let me put this on fast forward, make myself feel better.
Try to speed it up a little bit in the clips for you, make you look a little faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. The vision that you guys have, like Jobson talked about it a lot. In box lacrosse, you can kind of get away with spurts of speed versus having to, like you said, sprint the whole floor. Now, just knowing that the guys that are coming around on the back post and everything, and watching the Yeti team grow to getting those goals, like there's one I think you feed it over to Ty, and then he somehow lasers it across to Neil, who barely lets it touch his stick and throws it in before
Yeah,
Dempsey can get over. Just that tic-tac-toe, boom, boom, boom. It's like, wow. So I'm
yeah,
definitely,
that's the cool thing about box lacrosse. You know, like in field lacrosse, you you know, I probably would have a harder time really playing a high level field lacrosse right now, just because I'm not in as good a shape as I was. But in box lacrosse, yeah, you can kind of get away with bursts, short bursts of speed. That's usually what I do out there. I kind of get out there and I cut through the middle, and I'm a bigger guy, so I can kind of bang into people and make some room for myself. But yeah, especially now that I'm older, I play a lot smarter, so I try to get myself into the best position I can be out there. Rather, when I was younger, I used to be able to beat people with my feet when I was younger. I haven't done that in a long time, but yeah, now that I'm older, I got to play a little different, play a little smarter. And that just comes with age. Learning
yeah.
how to play a little different. Got to adjust your game every now and then.
Yeah, you've got like the way you pull your body away and get your hands way out. It's so funny too, because like talking to Ty yesterday, and he talks about keeping everything in super tight, and he does when you watch him play. He's very flowy, but everything is usually in so tight. And with you kind of bang your body into people and do the exact opposite. And then your arms are out away from you and you're shooting over the top. Like you
Yep.
always step into them like a bull and then just back out and yeah.
Yeah. It's just there's a lot of different styles of play, that can be successful for you, and you just got to figure out what that is. Like for Ty, he's a lot smaller than me, but he's so quick. So he does keep the stick close to him because he's so quick. But I'm a lot bigger and I'm a lot slower than Ty. But because I'm bigger, I can bang into people and then get my hands free. And with being bigger, it's harder for people to reach around me to get my stick, so I can, it's easier for me to play with, like a looser style of play.
Yeah, which it definitely is. It's fun to watch too, because the big thing that you see is you're it's almost like you're baiting the slide to come over. Look at how far away my hands are, and then it's a lightning fast release over the top of them to whoever they just slid off from. It's a lot of fun to watch your style of play. I really enjoy it. I'm glad we've gotten to catch some of those highlights.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, a lot of work. There's a lot of work put into it.
Go to work.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And that's all really we're trying to capture. That's why I try to credit everybody. It's a lot easier with you guys because I know you guys. Like I just did a bunch of the U15 games and I was crediting them on the YouTube thing, and they're getting comments. They're like, "Nope, that's this kid. That's this kid." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm terrible at this." But
Yeah, and when I was growing up in my parents' backyard, we have a goal out there, and we used to have a tree there. It's not there anymore. My dad ended up cutting it down, but where I score a lot of my goals from is from the top, left side of the floor. Well, right side if you're right, but that's where a tree used to be in my backyard. And growing up, I can't tell you how many, probably thousands of times I'd be out there in the backyard and I pretend that tree's a defender and I shoot around him. So it's a lot of repetition, and that's where I score a lot from, because that's where I'm most comfortable from.
yeah, it's fun to watch, like you said, the different styles of play, and it's funny to hear like that's how you really evolved that shooting position. It's just pretending that because you're not going to shoot through the tree, so you got to learn to shoot around it. That's they asked me to reserve it to stream it, so I'll definitely be there.
That I would think that the youth, they might have like a youth tournament happening at the same time as the men's during that New Year tournament.
With you not playing there over the weekend, you should have came up to the booth and talked with us.
Yeah, I did. I actually went up to the wrong side. I went up to the side where they had they do the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you guys were sitting, and I was like, oh man, they're not even up here.
Oh, that sucks, because that would have been cool. I said the same thing to Ty, because he was like, "Yeah, I thought about coming up," but I was like, "Man, I'd love to have you guys up. It would have been sweet to,
Yeah.
because you guys know a lot of these kids. I was looking for somebody who knew the kids to come up and help me with the names,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If I'm around, I'll for sure be at that tournament because it's right down the road from me. So I'll for sure be there watching when we're playing. And if I'm watching, I'll definitely come over and hang out with you, do some color for
Yeah.
you or something.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially because you'll know the kids. And tell Dalen he can come up in between the games. He's a freaking blast up there. All right, man. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. We got to do this again. I appreciate it.
Good talking to you, man.
All right. See you
I'll
later.
see you soon. Yep. Bye.